What's up, guys? It's Daddy from Speedhawk TV. What a game. OKC versus Golden State Warriors game 2. But, hey, that intro, though, I worked for a minute on that. I worked. I don't think Teddy Bear back for this video, too. Where do I start? Got to go to my notes again. Splash Bros, Steph and Clay combined for 19 of the 27 first quarter points for Golden State. At the beginning, it was like, oh, it's going to be a good game for Splash Bros. They started off, I think Clay had 11 and then Steph had 8. Because I remember the graphic coming up that they didn't have any points inside the second quarter at all, which was kind of, no, I think he scored 2. I want to say he scored 2 at the very end of the quarter. Curry, that is. Durant had 4 to 6 turnovers in the first quarter for the OKC Thunder, which he ended up with 8. That's like a big vice versa from the first game when Curry had 7 turnovers. Now in this game, Durant has 8 turnovers. So I guess whichever star has the most turnovers, the opposite team win. What else I got? Westbrook. Westbrook set out most of the first quarter for the OKC Thunder. Which turned out to kind of be a good idea considering how he went. He did end up with a double-double. He ended up with like 16 and 12, if I'm not mistaken. But I know he took 14 shots for only 16 points, which I know he's a high-volume player, so you can't knock him for that already being this game or whatever. But, yeah. And Adams' injury. Adams ended up hurting his back. Then he got kneed in the nuts by by Draymond Green and getting told that nigga shit makes a man up. And so yeah, Adams is going through it already. Bogut went through it in the beginning. He was horrible. Hard to say that to an NBA player because I'm not in the NBA, but that was a horrible performance to begin. Now he came back in the middle, but they still set him out because they're like, hey, this ain't even worth. They end up playing the Zealy, Fairchild, and Space. I think they play every one of their bigs except I think they still have McAdoo on their roster. He can't shoot free throws, so I think Curry didn't want to do that to stop the games, but they played all their bigs, and OKC was limited to bigs, especially when Adams got hurt. They left Serge Barker and Counter, so for that little run, but Adams came back right ahead, so there wasn't an excuse. Durant scored 10 straight points in the second quarter. He got hot. If it wasn't for what I'm gonna talk about in a minute, it would have been Durant's night. He was cooking. He had at least 20 points in the first quarter. Everything is going good from him. He making every shot, 3 ball. He making a little run inside the paint, off the backboard, going to the rim. I remember all that. He was cooking. I remember. I was like, he hot. He was hot. He was feeling it. I think he had 17. I think 16. No, he had 16 in the second. He had 16 in the second, and it was Durant night. Draymond dirty play, basically Draymond pushing Adams all night, kneeing him in the groin, talking smack to him, up and down the floor, talking smack to him. I guess he got more aggressive in his play after that. What he went 9 for 20 performance that he had in game 1. So I guess he stepped up the play, so he knocked up the tenacity a little bit. Barnes big play. Yeah, Harrison Barnes stepped up inside in this game. He caught his rhythm back because the first game, and they said pretty much during the playoffs he hasn't been that knocked down. The extra role player that they had on their roster. So he came back this game right here, and they left him in toward the end, and he got his little rhythm back. But he knocked down I think 3 for 5 from the 3-point line, which that little 9 points helped him out a little bit. At first I had Iggy down playing because at first Iggy was like 0 for 5 and he couldn't hit nothing. I was like, okay, this game is going to stay close because the role player from the Warriors weren't doing it because I know they missed like 5 straight shots when initially when they took Curry and Clay outside the game. They missed 5 straight shots, and then Iggy was 0 for 5 total at that point. But then it happened. Iggy with the comeback with the coming back to the scoop layup, but he reversed it again, not looking with his head down. That layup, then he come back with a one-hand bounce pass to the paint that ended up in a quick inner basket. I was like, Iggy came back and he did something. I think he scored like 7 out of their last 11, and then with the pass he was doing, he filled it up again. And Durant, he was still cooking, but he wasn't cooking late in the second, and because they put Westbrook back in, he shot 2 air balls trying to get fouls, and it just got bad for Westbrook. So I don't blame Billy Donovan for taking Westbrook out. in the first half. He did end up with 12 assists and 16 points, but it just wasn't his night totally. Well, team wise, because I remember the first game he had like 7 steals. He wasn't doing it this game because Curry started to become the primary. He was the initiator instead of the secondary. That was different between the first game. They let Clay try to be his man, and then Curry feed off that or whatever. He was more aggressive. As told my last video about the Warriors when I said he was there with that light skin shit. He wouldn't take over. And Golden State. At halftime, Golden State was leading rebound back. And that was a big point in the first game, was that the rebounding battle for OKC, but they were crushing Golden State on the rebounding. But now at halftime, it was 22-17 rebounding for Golden State, and also it was 10 offensive rebounds for Golden State to OKC's 4, which totaled back to the bigs in that series, which didn't allow OKC to actually do what they were doing last game. Adams killed him on offensive rebound and putting it back in. Counter doing the same thing. This time it was a joint rebounding effort from the Golden State Warriors, and they hit it 23 first half point for Durant. Once again, Durant was killing 23 points in first half as a game worth for some people. And he was the only person for OKC Thunder with a free throw attempt. That's where I stuck it out at the beginning, that Durant was the only person driving the ball, which ended up being the catalyst, which ended up hurting OKC in the end, because they shot their way out that game. Comeback, Curry scored 12 straight points in the third on the Thunder, and it was just everything from blow-bys to pump fake, one step, one dribble, jump shots, everything. Drifters, he was hitting it all. It was an absolute shooting performance from Stephen Curry in the third quarter. He ended up with 17 total in that quarter. He even drove the ball one time. A nice little cut. It was once that happened, it got down, because OKC tried to match 3 for 3 with Golden State. But not even Golden State. They tried to match 3 for 3 with Curry, and they couldn't. Serge Ibaka was off. I don't have his stats right here in front of me for Serge, him in particular, but Serge Ibaka couldn't hit nothing. Randy Ford got in and tried to shoot perimeter shots. He couldn't. Durant got in and tried to shoot perimeter shots. He couldn't. I'm just saying, you drive the ball, get to the free throw line, and slow the pace of the game down. When Curry did, you should have been driving. I know he getting 3 and you want to match your 3 for his 3, but if he get 3 and you get 2, they go down there and miss slow possession down. Boom, you come back and get 2 again. You won up on the possession. You only lost like 20 or maybe 30 seconds of playing time, which you can come back from. But if you're trying to match 3 for 3 and you're not hitting, and they are, you're going to get in a deeper hole like that. But that's just my basketball perspective behind that. And 6 straight possessions from ended in jump shot for OKC, which I just noted on, that they shot their way out that game. Basically, in the third quarter, when they shot their way out, it was no coming back. Because once they put the bench in, and then OKC was eventually going to have to go to their bench, it wasn't, they couldn't come back from that. But at the end of the third, it was 31-19 Golden State, and pretty much after that, it's not much for me to comment about, because it was just garbage time. They unloaded their bench with, like, I want to say 9.5 minutes left inside the fourth quarter, and they just give it. I remember they put Kyle Singler. When I seen Kyle Singler come off the bench, I was like, yeah, it was over. All they had to do was put Naz Muhammad in the game. I was like, okay. They done waved the white flag. I might blow the whistle now. And so, yeah, that was about it. But those are my game 2. Game 2 of the Cavs versus the Raptors. I have the Cavs winning by maybe 30, but I'm got the Cavs winning by 10 plus. I'm gonna say that. Hey, and my prediction for this game, which I said in my last video on the Cavs versus Raptors video, was correct. The Warriors did win by over 10 plus points. Well, they won by over 3. My bad. I was right and wrong. Wasn't nowhere near literally close, but I picked the one. I got the Cavs winning tomorrow, and they still gonna get the sweep. And I will tell you my predictions for the Golden State game in my next video, in my video about the Cavs or the Raptors after game 2, if you follow me. So yeah, but this is Daddy from Speedhawk TV signing out. Enjoy the outro.